Good morning.
Good morning, Rabbi.
How you doing, Harvey?
Not bad.
Good.
Fine.
Who else is there already? Anybody else?
Let's see. Nope.
Not yet.
You and I and Torah or.
That's okay.
But, we still got 3 minutes. That's why.
Right. Harvey, did you have that Ainsley meeting?
Actually, we did, and it worked out amazingly well. I was shocked. We had like 20 people on it, and the only difference is I think I have to go get a subscription so I don't get cut off at the 40-minute level.
Uh-huh.
So, and then you get 100 with the buying a subscription. It's interesting. So sometime today or tomorrow, or Monday, I will actually get a subscription. So we'll see.
Good.
But other than that, it worked out very well, I think.
Oh, that sounds good.
I won't give myself praise. I was shocked.
Uh-huh.
But a lot of people don't know what they can do and can't do. Oh, that looks like Irwin. Is that Irwin?
Yeah. Bob Rumberg.
Oh, Rumberg. Oh, Robert. Oh, there he is.
Good morning.
Bring your camera down. There we go. Very nice. Look how beautiful it looks.
Good. We've got about another minute or so, and then we'll get underway. Okay?
Okay.
If I don't remember at the end, I want to remind everybody that on next Wednesday, we'll start at 8 instead of 8:15.
Ah, okay.
Okay? And the reason is that I understand, hello, Ted. The reason we'll start next Wednesday at 8 instead of 8:15 is I believe that the rabbi is going to do a Zoom shacharit for Yom Ha'atzmaut. At least that's what I was theoretically told.
Okay.
Will that be just one day?
That'll just be that day. Right, just Wednesday, Yom Ha'atzmaut will start at 8 instead of 8, but we'll only go till 8:30 that day, because then I think that's when the service will start. Morning, Erwin.
Morning.
Ted, all right?
Irwin's
Okay.
Irwin's laying down in his chair.
That's good.
Oh, there he is.
That's good.
All right.
Okay, gentlemen, good morning, and we're going to be on Mem Chet, Amud Aleph, right? I like now that I always like to check in there with the Young Israel of Woodmere Daf Yomi program sheet, because the other one is not as easily followable. Today we're on 48, so we're right on target, right? Okay. I will tell you that the dapim are going to start getting a little bit a lot longer again. So we'll see what we can cover, right? Okay, so Memchet Amud Aleph, we're on the second line down, Rava V'Rebbe Zera. And remember, we've seen the issue now. The Gemara ended with the point of somebody having an item in a basket and putting the basket down on some grape leaves, things like that, something that we've said has a tendency to increase heat, okay? And so that is going to be the example that the Gemara said. Did it apply to poppy seed remains, produce? No, it didn't, because that does not increase the heat. And so the next story or two in the Gemara proceeds to focus on that kind of an issue. Rava V'Rabbi Zera, Iklau L'Bei Reish Galuta. Rava and Rabbi Zera came to the house of the Reish Galuta. Okay, and Chaziuha, the Lahahu Avda, the Anach Kuza de Maya, Apuma de Kumkumba, right? And they happened to see that a certain servant put a pitcher or a container of water, okay, on the mouth of a kettle, okay? You might not call it actually a kettle. We would probably consider it some sort of a, like a larger item, urn, for example, where the urn has hot water in it, or the urn is hot, and the jug or the pitcher contained cold water. Right? What happened? Nazhaya Rava. Rava rebuked the servant. Amali Rabbi Zera, says Rabbi Zera, says, Mai Shana me mecham al gabe mecham. He says, how is this any different than previous examples, basically, where we say that he puts one container of water, okay, one kumkum, so to speak, over on top of another. Okay. Amarle, he says, hatam akume ka mukam. There, in that case, you were simply what we'll call preserving the situation of the water. Hacha alude ka moli. Here, in this case, in a sense, you are actually generating, creating hot water in the top item from that which was in the bottom item. Okay? Now, going on, okay? Right? What happens if we see the following example? Okay? Hadar chazye de paras de sotadar. Okay, this time they see either the same servant or another servant, okay, and he spreads a towel or a something similar to a towel, apume de kuba, okay, and he put it on the mouth of a cask, right, and then what happens? Va'anach natla eluhe, and then he put a cup on top of that particular towel, okay? Again, nuzhei Rabba. Rabba again rebukes him. Okay, Amarle Rabbi Zera, Amai. Rabbi Zera again asks why. Amarle, he answered him, Hashta chazit lasof. Look carefully and see what he does later. Okay, Chazia de kama atzarle. He saw that he was wringing out the turban. Okay, which of course on Shabbat is a isur, right? Amarle, ma'ishna mipronaka. How is that any different? He said from simply taking a cloth and using it as a cover, okay, on a container, on a cask. Amarle, hatam lo kapid eluya. Hacha kapid eluya. Okay, there in that case, one wasn't stringent, particular about it. Okay, it's not a problem if the towel gets wet. Hacha kapid eluya. Here in this case, he's more strict and stringent about it. Why? Because he's going to wring out the towel, and therefore that's an isur d'oraita on Shabbat. Okay, let's go on now with the next piece from our Mishnah, where it said that there were again a number of items that were prohibited also to be used as insulation, okay, particularly, okay, if, okay, as to whether or not it was going to be wet, dry, things like that. Okay, so velo b'teven, and our Mishnah included in that section. Okay, if we were just to go back real quickly, okay, the Mishnah included velo b'muchan, not in soft material as well. So the Gemara continues. Ba'imene Rav Ada bar Matna, Rav Ada bar Matna asked Me Abaye, Muchin shetaman behem. If somebody used shmatas, so to speak, dry, right, cloths, right, and use that for installation, mahu l'taltalan b'Shabbat. What about being able to move them? Okay, handle them on Shabbat. Okay, Amali, he said to them, V'chi mipnei she'ein lo kupa shel teven. He says, since he seems to be lacking any kind of a basket of straw, right? Omeid umakpid kupa shel mochin. Shall we say that he sets that aside and should be using then a bundle of shmatas, of soft cloth? Is that the better? Okay, while the straw would be used, okay, and cheaper, all right, on the other hand, using rags is not beneficial because they have greater value. Right? Lema misayea le. Perhaps this then will say that this is going to support the following statement, right? Namely, tomnin begizet semer, okay, that we can insulate with fleece, wool, pieces of wool fleece, ubetzipei semer, and in strips of wool, ubilashonot shel argaman, and even strips, pieces of wool that have been dyed, okay, purple in this case, ubemuchin, and with soft cloths, right? Ve'ein metaltalinotan, but we're not able to handle them on Shabbat. Im mishum ha, if that's the case, if because of that, says the Gemara, you're going to use that as proof. Lo ire, okay? That shouldn't have that meaning, right? Hachi, it shouldn't have. This is what it means. Ka'ama. This is how we have to understand it, right? Im lo taman bahen, if one didn't insulate with them, ein metaltalin otan, then you can't handle them, okay? Yachi, if that's the case, ma'i lamemra, what are you going to say then? Mahu detema, okay? What you might say then is chaze lemizga alayhu. Okay, that these pieces of cloth, of fleece, okay, they could be used for other things. For example, one could sit on them or recline on them, okay, and therefore they should be able to be handled. Kamash Malan comes to teach us that that's not the case. Okay, a new piece now from our, as the Gemara continues. Rav Chista Sharya laha'adure odra lebe sadya b'shabta. Okay, that Rav Chista would permit putting stuffing back inside a pillow on Shabbat. Okay. And now this is going to be challenged. Eitive Rav Chanan bar Chista, the Rav Chista. So he's challenged, okay, by Rav Chanan, okay, his son. Okay, didn't we learn the following? He says to him, right, Mitirin beit hatzoar b'Shabbat. We permit the undoing of the neck of a shirt on Shabbat. Aval lo potchin, but we're not permitted to completely open a brand new shirt, if you will, for the very first time after it was sewn shut. Okay? Why? Because this, in a sense, completes the work of making that shirt a viable garment on Shabbat, and we can't finish work on Shabbat. Ve'ein notnin et hamuchan lo letoch hakar. Okay, and we're not permitted to put soft cloths, okay, into the pillow. V'lo letoch hakeset, and not, nor can we put it into a, let's say, a bolster, okay, a pillow to sit on. B'yom tov, on Yom Tov. Ve'ein tzarich lomar b'Shabbat. Certainly, that can't be done on Shabbat. Lo kasha. No, that's not a problem, says the Gemara. Ha becharete, ha ba'atike. In one case, we were talking about a brand new one. In the other case, we're talking about older ones. Okay? In other words, a pillow can't be stuffed, say, the very first time, okay, on Shabbat. Why? Because that's would normally be part of making it a completed utensil, okay, like the manufacturer would, okay. But an old pillow, right, or an old bolster, if the stuffing fell out, that could be replaced even on Shabbat. Tanya Nami Hachi, and we have a Braita that teaches something similar, okay. Ein notnin et hamuchim lo letoch hakar v'lo letoch hakeset b'yom tov. We're not permitted to put stuffing, soft cloths, inside a pillow or inside a bolster on Yom Tov. Ve'ein tzarich lomar b'Shabbat, and we certainly don't do so on Shabbat. Okay? Now, nashru, okay, if it fell out, machzirin otan b'Shabbat, then, okay, we can replace it even on Shabbat. Ve'ein tzarich lomar b'Yom Tov, and certainly we don't have to say it could be replaced on Yom Tov. Okay. Amar Rav Yehuda, Amar Rav. This is Rav Yehuda in the name of Rav. Okay. Since we mentioned the business of opening the shirt, right? Apparently there was a stitch or two there. Okay. He says as follows: Hapoteach beit hatzavar b'Shabbat chayav chatat. One who opens the neck of a shirt on Shabbat has to bring a chatas, a sin offering, right? Because again, that's like finishing the work. Mat kifla Rav Kahana. Rav Kahana objects, and he challenges him with the following as we go over to the next Amud. Ma ben zo lemigufat chavit. What's the difference between that and taking a piece of cloth, let's say, and using it as a stopper in a wine barrel? Amar le Rava. Rava responds, Zeh chibur, v'zeh eino chibur. On the one hand, one example is something that's directly connected, okay? In other words, it forms them a direct connection. And the other, okay, it's not directly connected. Now, Ramile, Rabbi Yirmiyah, the Rabbi Zera. Rabbi Yirmiyah then points out the following contradiction to Rabbi Zera. Snan. We have a Mishnah that teaches as follows. Shalal shel kofsin. Okay? We're talking now about the I guess I'll call it a loosely attached connection, let's say of launderers. In other words, that the launderers would maybe sew a stitch or two, okay, in terms of garments together. Okay, the same way, for example, we might have, let's say, shirts on a hanger, and you have 2 or 3 shirts, and they'll put a tie, okay, to connect the hangers together. Well, here, maybe they did something in their day similar. V'shalshelet shel maftechot, or a bunch of keys, a ring of keys. V'habeged shehu tafur b'klayim, or we've got a garment that's stitched together with thread, and the thread is kalayim, is basically mixed, right, substances, right? Okay, so what happens? Shahu tafur b'klayim, we said, that it's stitched together with klayim. Chibur letum'ah ad sheyatchil lahatir. Okay, we say that in this case, these items are connected in regards to Tuma until one begins to undo them. Okay? Being the case that the Gemara then continues, Alma shelo b'shat melacha nami chibor. Okay, that means that that in this case, right, they are considered joined together at the time of their being, when they're worked, when they're being dealt with. Or minhu, but we have the following contradiction then that we say as follows. Makel sha'asa yad lekordon. Let's say we have a piece of wood, a small piece of wood that's been jammed into an axe head, okay, and therefore becomes the handle for the axe. Chibur letum'ah b'sha'at malacha. Then it's considered connected and susceptible to impurity, tuma, at the time that it's being worked. In other words, not just if the wooden handle is tameh, it's going to render the axe head tameh as well. Okay? And therefore the Gemara continues, B'sha'at melacha en, shelo b'sha'at melacha lo. You're saying that in that case, that at the time that it's being worked, used, yes, okay, it is susceptible, both the handle and the axe head, to tuma, but at the time that it's not being used, no. Amarle, he said to him, in that case, hatam shelo b'sha'at melacha. There, in that situation, okay, what will we have? Okay, when it's not being used, Adam asui lezorko lebein ha'etzim. That it's very possible that the person will, since he sort of improvised that as a handle, he just pulls it out and tosses it with some other pieces of wood. Okay, hacha shelo b'sha'at melacha nami nechale. Here, even though the stitches have connected these garments together, it's not during simply the laundering process, but it's after that as well. Okay? De'i mitnafu, because if these garments become soiled, hadar machzor leho, it helps keep them together, right? It's still being used, right? So the Gemara now, okay, is going to say that's the difference between the two cases of the axe and the cases of the garment, right? But therefore, that's still considered attached, right? Now, Gemara wants to tell us, Basura matnu la lahashma'ata mishmei de Rav Chisda. In Surah, in the Academy of Surah, they taught this lesson in the name of Rav Chisda. But Pompadita matnu mishmei de Rav Kahana. They taught this same lesson in the name of Rav Kahana. Okay? Va'amre la mishmei de Rabba. And others say it was in the name of Rabba. So the Gemara asks here, Man Tana HaMilta? Okay, who then is the Tana responsible then for the following? The Amur Rabbanan, where the rabbi said, Kol HaMechubar Lo Arehu Kamohu. Okay, that whatever something is attached, when it's joined, the one article, the one item, is like the similar other item. Okay, or similar. Amar Rav Yehuda, Amar Rav, Rabbi Meir. Says Rabbi Yehuda in the name of Rav, it was Rabbi Meir who taught it. Ditznan, okay, as he taught as follows in a Mishnah, Beit Hapach, if you have an oil flask, Beit Hatavlin, and you have a container of spices, okay, right, Beit Haner, and you have a lamp, okay, Shabakira, okay, and this is a lamp that sort of goes underneath a oven, mitam'in b'maga, okay, that they can become tameh, okay, through contact. Ve'ein mitam'in ba'avir, but they cannot become tameh in through airspace. Okay, what do we mean? Remember, we've said that if a sheketz, let's say a lizard or something, okay, has passed over the airspace of an open oven, then anything inside that oven becomes ritually impure. So now Rabbi Meir is saying, if any of these items that could be in the oven had contact with that sheketz, not only does that item itself become tameh, but it's going to render the entire kira, the entire oven, tameh as well. Divrei Rabbi Meir, right? Rabbi Shimon mitaher, but Rabbi Shimon says no, that it's okay. Now, Bishlema la Rabbi Shimon kesavar lav kekira dami. That's because Rabbi Shimon is of the opinion that these flasks or containers are not exactly like the stove, okay? Ela the Rabbi Meir, ikakira damu. If these items, the oil flask or the spice holder, okay, or the lamp, right? Okay, in these cases, if they are considered similar to the oven, afilu ba'avir nami litnu, then let them have the same status, okay, that if the sheketz is over the airspace, then, okay, they also, then also it should be tameh, and that shouldn't have that distinction, okay, between just touching the object and rendering the oven tameh. Ilav kakira damu, okay, and if they're not like the oven itself, afilu b'maga nami lo litamu, then even if they're not like the oven whatsoever, then even if they have contact, direct contact with the oven, that shouldn't render the oven tameh either. So the Gemara now is going to clarify. Le'olam lav kikira damu. No, we're saying that these items are not exactly like the oven itself. V'rabbananhu, the gazru baho. But the rabbis made a clear decree in regards to their status of being unclean. Igazru baho afil ba'avir nami litmu. If the rabbis made the decree, then let them also make the decree that regarding the airspace as well, just like in any other case of the oven. Okay, so the Gemara tells us, Avdu baho Rabbanan hekera. The rabbis, however, made a clear distinction here. Okay? Why? Ki hechi de lo ate lemisraf ale truma v'kadoshim. So that people would not come, okay, and burn their truma or burn their kadshim, their holy food, on account of it. Okay? In other words, if the objects, if the receptacles became tameh in the stove, okay, and they came then in contact with either truma or with kadshim, okay, then if that's the case, that truma and kadshim are only tameh de rabbanan and not tameh de oraita, and as a result, okay, they would not need to be burned, whereas truma and kadshim that are tameh de oraita would have to be destroyed, would have to be burned. Okay, let's go on now. All right, Tanu Rabbana. Okay, let's take the following situation with some other objects. Okay, what are we talking about? Misporet shel parakim. We're talking about a kind of scissors that is made of two parts, okay, component parts, all right? And you have to join them together in order for them to cut, okay? V'izmal shel rihitnai, okay? Or let's talk about a plane, the blade of a carpenter's plane, that in order for it to work, you have to slip the blade into the plane in order for you to make it work. Chibur letum'ah. Ve'ein chibur lahaza'ah. When it's connected, it is susceptible to tumah. But when it's not connected, that's when we require it for sprinkling, okay, to be purified. Okay? Remember that we have to sprinkle the ashes of the para aduma in the water in order to purify an object. So the implication is, if they're together, both parts become tameh. But in order to purify it, you have to separate the parts to sprinkle the water on it. Manafshach, what's the difference here? Ichiburhu, if they're connected, afilu lahaza'anami, then shouldn't that also be, okay, applicable in terms of their sprinkling for purification? Ilav chiburhu, if they're not connected, afilu l'tama nami lo, then even for becoming impure, they shouldn't become impure either. Amar Rava. And so Rava explained as follows. The Ver Torah b'sha'at melacha chibur bein letuma bein lahaza'ah. Okay? According to scripture, according to Torah law, when they are in use, they're considered as if they're a single object, okay, that they're connected, and therefore that applies both to tuma and to sprinkling, okay? V'shelo b'sha'at melacha, but when they're not in use, eino chibur, lo letuma, v'lo lahaza'ah. Okay, when they're not in use, they are, okay, they are not considered to be connected, okay, all right, for neither tuma nor for haza'ah, for sprinkling. Let's go over just a little bit on the top of Memtet, okay? V'gazru Rabbanan, and the rabbis therefore made a decree, right? Al tum'ah shelo b'shat melacha, in regards to the status of those items when they're not in use, mishum tum'ah b'shaba'at melacha. Okay, based on the concern of when they are in use. Okay, that they should be considered as one item. Ba'al haza'ah sheba'shat melacha. Okay, mishum haza'ah shelo b'shat melacha. And they made the decree likewise on the sprinkling, okay, in regards to the time when they're in use, based on the time when they're not in use. So again, that's the component there. Okay, let's go on just a bit more. Bisman shehen lachin. Okay, when the situation is when they're moist, right? So the rabbis asked the following question, right? Lachim, do we say mechamat atzman? Do we say when they're moist, okay, in their natural state, okay? O dilma lachim mechamat davar acher? Or do we say that they become moist because of they're soaked by some other liquid? Tashma. Listen to the following braita. Lo beteven, not with straw. Velo bezagin, again, and not with the skins of grapes. Velo bemochin, and not with soft material. Right? Velo ba'asavin, bizman shehen lachin, and not with grass, okay, during the time that it's wet. Right? Amrat, if you're going to say, Bishlema lachin mechamat davar acher shapir, if you're going to say that we're talking about a situation where they become moist because of some other condition, in other words, artificially, right? Shapir, that's well, okay, that's understood. Ela amrat lachin mechamat atzman. If you're going to say, however, that we're discussing it when they're naturally moist on their own, mochin, in regards to raw material, soft material, soft cloth, lachin mechamat atzman, hechi mishkachet la. How is it possible that you're going to say that you have soft material that is becomes moist on its very own? Is that really at all possible? Okay, the Gemara tells us, Mimrata de bene atme, okay, that this cloth has come from the wool that was derived from the flanks of the animals. Okay, Vaha ditani Rabbi Hoshaya. And this is based on what Rabbi Hoshaya taught. Tomnin b'kasut yavesha, that namely one can insulate with dry cloths, right? Ubeperot yaveshin, okay, and also with dry produce, right? Avalo b'ksut lacha, but not with moist cloths, damp cloths. V'lo beperot lachin, and not with a moist fruit stuffs, okay? Your produce, all right? Leaves from produce. Ksut lacha mechamat atzma hechi mishkachet la, okay? Moist cloths of its own. How is it possible to find it, for it to be exist? Okay? Mimarta de bene atme. Okay, that comes as a result of wool that was plucked from the flanks of the animal. Okay, and as a result, it still has some moisture on it when it was converted into cloth. And that's the case. And we'll stop right there for today, and we'll pick up tomorrow. Right? Everybody have a good day. And again, I'm reminding us that on Wednesday, the Yom Ha'atzmaut will start at 8 rather than at 8:15.
Okay.
Everybody stay well.
Thank you very much. You too.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Robert.
Have a good one.
You're still there, Harvey.
I'm hanging off.